OCTV 71 would like to thank the following underwriters for their support. Owensboro Community and Technical College. Higher education begins here. Owensboro Municipal Utilities. Local people, local service for over 100 years. Looking for customized employee training? Call OCTC's Workforce Solutions. The Greater Owensboro Chamber of Commerce. Crandall's Home Furnishings, making your house a home. Pangea Cafe, dine out of the ordinary. Davis County Fiscal Court. The City of Owensboro. Public Life Foundation of Owensboro, fostering broad, meaningful citizen participation in community decisions and public policy. Green River District Health Department. Our mission is to improve the quality of life by promoting, protecting, and enhancing the health and well-being of the public. Green River Area Development District. Gratify your community. Plan today, progress tomorrow. Food Talks with Valerie Holcomb and the Joy of Classic Cars with your host, Neil Bradley. Bank on Owensboro, sponsored by Audubon Area Community Services and the Hager Educational Foundation. Time Warner Cable in support of Educational Access Television. WKU Owensboro Campus, 684-9797. Thanks again for your continued support of OCTV 71. If your organization or business would like to support local community television, please call John Bryanton at 686-4615. OCTV, it's everywhere.
And welcome back to the Joy of Classic Cars. A few minutes ago, we were sitting inside Larry's wonderful office, which, of course, was all decorated as an old service station. And how fitting, Larry, that you put all of that memorabilia in an old service station.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife. I said, whoever thought that all my gas station collection would end up at an old gas station?
And it's so fitting, it is so period, and it really is. We do encourage anyone to stop by and take a look. Of course, here we are now, again, basking in this last day of Indian summer, and we're out here in the lot now to look at some of their cars. And of course, you'll discover that, Larry, it's true that in your family, the whole family loves antique and classic cars.
Yeah, we go to a lot of shows together. We all go together.
And here we are standing by a beautiful, original 1965 Ford Falcon with 61,000 miles that your sister's had for, what, about a year?
A little over a year, maybe.
And she was telling you that it's been in Kentucky all its life, correct?
Yeah, I think she's had 3 owners, bought new in Central City.
And they're at Lester Motors, right?
Yes.
And of course, what we're looking at here is it shows that to experience classic cars, some people like the splash and the flash. But others enjoy simple and what used to be known as, quote, the plain Jane. And of course, this is a wonderful example of a simple plain Jane car. Probably an older woman probably bought it. She just wanted a simple car, and she probably drove it to church and the grocery store. But anyway, as you can see, it's an awesome example. And also, as you look on the inside, as you will see this car in future shows as we move into 2011, this car didn't even come with a radio. And back then, when you didn't come with a radio, you had this wonderful little plate. And even on the elite plate, it even has the Falcon insignia. So it's really awesome. And now, by the way, did you get her interested in classic cars?
No, she did it all on her own.
So now, was your mom and dad, were they into classic cars?
My dad done cars in general, I believe. So that was just...
Well, we're going to move on now because we're going to introduce another part of the family, your wonderful wife, Cheryl, and we're going to let her now tell us about her pride and joy. Well, now we've moved to a little more splash and flash, as I am now proud of standing next to Larry's wonderful wife, Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl.
Hello.
And Larry, we're standing in front of a beautiful 1972 Mustang. Well, let me share something with you all. This is what you will read when you come up and see this car at the shows this year. This car was presented to Miss Margaret May Barbarick in June of 1972 at Seth Johnston Ford in Atascadero, California, by none other than Hugh Hefner of Playboy magazine. Miss Barbarick had owned the car until 2007 when she parted with due to health reasons. The car currently resides in Owensboro, where Cheryl Stinnett received it as a wonderful birthday present from her loving husband, Larry. thank you for checking out the car, because we are proud to have this kind of history. And of course, while we're standing by, and Cheryl, the color, then once they found out where it came from, it got a nickname, did it not?
Well, everybody seemed to think that she was a Mary Kay car, but she's not. She's the Playboy Pink bunny car. I call her Miss Pinky, but she's my favorite car, and I've had her since '07, and I guess that's about it.
Okay. And of course, you enjoy it very much. Now you made some, Larry. You've made some modifications with it. You've taken the original white walls off, right? And you've got some fancy wheels here. And of course, one day we may see this car restored back to original again, right?
Yes, it's right now it only has 29,000 original miles on it.
And you were sharing, though, that the problem is Ford color, it was called what kind of pink?
Dusk rose is what Ford would call it, but
because if they would call it Playboy Pink, what would they have had to have done?
well, they'd have to pay the Playboy people the money to call it that.
And by the way, do you know how many of these cars exist?
They told me back then that Ford didn't keep good enough records, so anything that was special ordered, there's no way to count them. And on the window sticker it says special order paint, special order color, and when you special order it, there's no way to count it. All they can tell you is how many 72 Mustangs were made.
All right. Well, Cheryl, this is a real addition to the Owensboro area, and we're going to look so forward here in 2011 for you to take it so that you can truly experience the joy of classic cars.
Thank you.
All right. Great, you all. Well, now let's move back to what got the hobby started for Larry. Larry, let's go over to your pride and joy. Not least, with our wonderful visit with the students, we're standing with Larry's Pride and Joy. Larry, of course, there's a lot of things you can tell us, so please fill us in on this most unique Mercury Cyclone GT.
Well, this is the one I've had the longest, and I guess it's like the first and maybe most liked child. They're all like our kids, But this is the one I've had the longest and probably spent the most hours on, and then probably the rarest of all of them. But it's a 429 Cobra Jet Ram Air car, which is extremely rare, probably even in this color.
And I guess this was, of course, Ford had the Torino GT, and I guess this was Mercury's jump into the muscle car world.
Right, this is the sister car to the Torino.
But yet it has things that the Torino didn't have. So tell us about some of the unique things one will see on this car.
Well, the Mercury seemed to come more loaded, as they would say now. I mean, this one has power steering, power disc brakes, air, rear window defroster, gauges. I mean, it's pretty loaded up. And
you'll see, though, as we do, as you view the interior, only the 70 and 71s had these gauges, and it was only Mercury who had them, right?
Right. Those gauges are specific to the Cyclone 70 and 71 only. That's this body style. They only made it for 2 years.
Well, great, Larry. Well, thank you so much. We thoroughly enjoyed our visit with you today, and we appreciate you and Cheryl being a sponsor of the Joy of Classic Cars, and I know we'll look forward to a lot of shows this year, being out there together as we do experience the Joy of Classic Cars. And thank you all very much. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, when this show airs, we're probably going to be cooped up and bundled up inside. But what a great opportunity to enjoy the sunshine and to enjoy these 3 wonderful examples of automobile history. But remember, we want to know about you. And remember, we have a Facebook page. It's called The Joy of Classic Cars. All you have to do is go to Joy Classic Space Cars and check in and send me pictures of your car and tell me your story. And again, maybe sometime this year either we'll interview you at a future show, or maybe we'll even come so that we can feature you on a future segment of The Joy of Classic Cars.
The Joy of Classic Cars is brought to you by Tap Motors, Downtown Muffler and Brake, S&J Customs Full Service Restorations, The Man from Mars Matt's Auto Restoration Service, Stennon's Auto Sales, quality vehicles, great prices.